a lot, and I use my computer skills because I have to create proposals for store owners so they know what we're providing. And then I use a lot of art and math too, because I go to the stores and I will measure the length of the space that I have. I'll show you some tools that I use. So when I go to school stores, I take my tape measure so I can measure how much space I have. So that requires a lot of math. And then I take a pencil and ruler and a notepad with paper so I can draw out what kind of a layout I'm going to do, like where I'm going to place the giant tiger and where I'm going to place the racks of toys. And then I also do a lot of creative things, like I'll write copy to go for social media posts for our big stores. And I use art and math to create website graphics, things you would see online. And then I'll also request from graphic designers like artists to create signs and posters and even fun like animal footprints. Like when I put a giant T-Rex in a store, I have these giant red T-Rex footprints that lead from the entrance of the store to the T-Rex. And I also, so some of the skills that I use in that are writing and English when I write social media copy. And then I have to use art and math when I create web banners. And I use art when I create signs. And then sometimes I even use science to create fun animal related games. And then some of my other job responsibilities, in addition to setting up flagship stores, is I work on partnerships. And one of the partnerships I'm working on right now is with Charlotte City Partners and Imagine the library that's right here in Charlotte. So with them, we're going to have an event where we have all of our giant animals near Imagine in the city, hopefully in May or June. So with them, I have to be creative and come up with ideas for different events we can do and fun things. So I use my writing skills to write that out. And then eventually I'll have to work and use my art skills to create graphics for signage and websites as well. And I also handle partnerships with other groups like the Humane Society of Charlotte. And I have to do writing for that and math because I'll select all the items that we're going to sell who would benefit the Humane Society as a fundraiser. So I have to use a lot of math when I'm picking out what items that we'll be selling to use as a fundraiser. Do you want me to take you in the warehouse so you can see our other giant animals? Do you want to go in our warehouse?
Oh, yes, please, Miss
Yes,
Jernigan. That would be
please.
amazing. Now, everybody else, stay muted. Stay muted. Mute yourselves, please, and do not share your screen. Do not share your screen. Somebody's sharing. Okay.
I have to put on a vest for safety in the warehouse. So this is our warehouse. And in the warehouse, we have all of the toys, all those boxes up there, toys, rows and rows of toys. And here are the giant animals that I put into toy stores and kids museums. There's tigers. Some of them are wrapped up still. There's an elephant in the back and unicorns. And I'm taking this cow right here to Michigan next week because he's going to go in a store called Bavarian Inn. And then we have giant T-Rexes too. And then I'll show you. This tiger is going to go to
That looks
Michigan.
like a giraffe from Jurassic Park.
They look like they're from Jurassic Park. So I don't know where I'm at with time.
Let me check that out. I'm so glad you asked. We're at 11 minutes. So if you want to take just take a few more minutes and wrap it up. We might have some
Okay.
questions, but boys and girls, stay muted until I have given you the go ahead for questions. Okay.
Okay, so just to recap some of the skills that I use in my job, I use a lot of math when I'm creating floor plans, and I have to use my English and my writing skills a lot for when I'm creating copy for a website or email newsletters or social media posts. And I also have to use, I guess you would say, my social skills, because I have to make a lot of telephone calls and send emails when I'm talking to toy store owners or buyers at like a children's museum or a zoo, or when I'm talking to somebody who does like promotions for the city of Charlotte or like libraries like Imagine On. And then there's a lot of fun parts of my job because I get to be really creative, and I work with a team, my marketing team, and we create all kinds of different fun ideas for activities and things like that. So it's a really fun place to work as a toy company.
Oh my goodness, Miss Jernigan, you have just gotten me so excited because last year you did this when Harrison was in first grade. And I
Yes.
remember how excited I was to hear about your job and all the cool things. And I don't want to scare you right now, but there's a T-Rex that looks like he's about to take your head off. So I hope that that's not going to happen. Oh, right.
He's
Okay,
my
right.
friend.
Yeah, that's right. He's
my
not real.
friend.
He just looks so real. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is what I want first grade to be thinking about. So these are the things that I heard you say. I heard you say you use math and reading and writing, and that you use social skills like cooperative skills because you have to work with other people. So those are some things that I heard. Now I'm going to take it to the gallery, the peanut gallery. All right, guys, remember first grade, you've done such a great job of listening. And now it's your turn to ask questions. And remember, I'm not going to be able to call on everybody. So please don't be disappointed if you do not get called on. But remember, your questions need to be questions that require Miss Jernigan to tell us more than yes or no. Like I could say, Miss Jernigan, do you like your job? And she might say, yes. And that's a little bit boring. We want Miss Jernigan to tell us more, like, what do you like about your job? Okay, so let's begin with Mr. Hatch. I see that Petey Hatch has his hand up. Will you please unmute yourself and ask Miss Jernigan a really good first grade question?
I was just wanting to ask, what's the closest one to Princeton Avenue? Because Princeton Avenue is where I live.
Location. All right, yes.
So the right now, we don't have one in Charlotte, a flagship store, but that's something I'm working on. So if I present next year, hopefully I'll have one or two here in Charlotte where you can shop at. But in May or June, I'm working with Imagine On right now, and we're talking about all kinds of fun ideas to put all of these on display right in the city, right in the front of Imagine On and like near 7th Street Station uptown. So hopefully you'll see all kinds of, your mom and dad will see all kinds of stuff on the news and emails and things like that about where you can see this T-Rex and cows and animals I showed you, and hopefully some more bigger animals all on display in Charlotte so you can go and see them in person.
That's amazing. Miss Jernigan, will you do me a favor? When that happens, if that happens, will you send me an email so that I can update all of our first grade friends?
I will. Yes, it's
That would
definitely
be
going to happen.
wonderful.
It's just, is it going to be May or June?
Well, we are going to keep our fingers crossed, but what a treat that would be. Okay, guys, let's see. Danielle. Danielle has a question.
No, it's actually Isabella.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm just having to read the names that are on there. Isabella, what's your question, friend?
How many years did you have to stay in college or high school or the other school before college?
I went to college for 4 years. I'm a Tar Heel. Woo woo.
Good morning.
So she went to Chapel Hill and she got a college degree. All right, who has, Luke Eller, you have a question. What's your question, friend?
Do you have brooder trucks in your toy shop?
We do not make brooder trucks, but they were at Toy Fair. They were right across from us last year. So I know what they are because a lot of the toy stores that sell Schleich sell those too.
That's really cool. You mean you went to a toy fair?
Yes, in New York City last year. That was like the last event they had before everything shut down because of coronavirus. So at Toy Fair in New York, we have a big display and we actually had two. The one in the lobby had that giant elephant and a horse. And then we had a golden lion as well. And what happens at Toy Fair is all the big toy companies like Schleich and Lego and LOL Surprise and Ty, all the big toy companies, Brooder, they're all there. And people that buy for toy stores and zoos and museums, they come to look at all the new products that you have. And they go ahead and buy for those stores so they get those toys in those stores.
That is amazing. New York City's exciting, toys are exciting, and you put them together. That sounds like the best vacation ever. Okay, let's see who else has a question. Grace, what's your question, friend?
Years have you been working for the company?
How many years? About a year and a half now.
That's a great question. That's awesome. You know, she's so young, she might be working for them for 30 more years. Yes. All right, guys, let's see who else has a question. Who have I not heard from? Masa. Am I saying your name correctly?
Yes.
Do you have a question?
So yeah, I have a question. So I was going to say, why is there stuff that are wrapped inside like the paper wrappers?
Oh, well, it's all wrapped up because it came on a big container ship from Germany. They came from Germany and they're all wrapped up. So we keep them in the wrapping until we're going to use them, because if we're shipping them somewhere or putting them on a truck, don't want things to break and things like that. Because one time I was in Beverly Hills, California, and I unwrapped a unicorn and I said, "What's this?" And an ear had broken off. So I had to fix it. So we try to wrap them up really good so they don't get broken. But the ones that are unwrapped because they were at Toy Fair or somewhere else, like this one, they get shipped on like a big pallet like this. So they keep them safe. Like this is an elephant that he's wrapped and he's in this big wooden crate so that he won't get broken.
That is a great question. Gosh, Miss Jernigan, like what kind of glue do you use?
Well, when a unicorn's ear falls off, I fix it with epoxy.
Oh, epoxy. That's some fancy stuff.
I thought you use like some.
All right, let's see. I think we have time for about one more question. I feel like we could just spend the entire day with you, Miss Jernigan, but my guess is that you probably have some work to do. So,
I know. I've got to get ready for an installation in Michigan next week.
okay, well, I have a friend. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Somebody who looks like they're jumping out of their skin. Owen has a question.
What do you like about your job?
There's so
Mm.
many things. I like getting to meet people from all different parts of the world or the US and Canada and talk to them and help them, give them fun ideas to make their business grow. But also, what I really like about my job is seeing how much kids love our toys and creating these fun like contests and promotions and different things that the kids can do. Because sometimes, a lot of times, we get letters from kids saying, I love this, or this was so fun, that kind of thing. So it's fun knowing that you're making kids happy.
Hey, Owen.
That is, oh, excuse me. Please keep muted. I know that it's hard to do that. Boys and girls, I certainly wish that we could ask all these questions, but Miss Jernigan, I have a question for you. If our first grade friends want to know more about your job and they have a burning question that did not get answered, could they email their questions to me or to their teacher, and I could email you and you could answer some questions for us?
Yes,
Would you do that?
I will.
I love that. And boys and girls, we're going to let Miss Jernigan get ready for her work that she has to prepare for Michigan, taking all those cool toys to Michigan to set them up. That sounds like an amazing, amazing job. Raise your hand if you might want to work for a company like Schleich someday, a toy company. Just raise your hand. I mean, maybe someday I'm going to not be a teacher and I'm going to go work for Schleich. I don't know. It sounds like amazing to me.
I'll put you to work, Miss Person.
I would love that. I think it would be so fun to work with you and to work with all those cool toys. Boys and girls, before we go, just remember, if you have a question that did not get answered, please email your teacher and you can tell your teacher, hey, Miss Person said she would find out for me. Can you please get Miss Person to email Miss Jernigan and let me know the answer to this question because I'm super interested. All right, and before we go, I want to tell Miss Jernigan, if you could take a selfie in front of one of those cool animals and send it to Miss Myers or to me or to your child's teacher, we would love to have a picture of you doing your job. That would be great. And the other thing that I would love to do is teach everybody how to say thank you. If you say thank you in sign language, you just take your fingers up under your chin and you brush your chin and out. Okay, so instead of unmuting and all like screaming and being crazy, I'm going to count to 3 and I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and we're going to say thank you. And you can use your mouth to say it and your sign to say thank you to Miss Jernigan. And then we're going to dismiss this meeting. And then you can come back at 11:30 for our next speaker. All right, boys and girls, 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Miss Jernigan. You are amazing. I'm sending you a heart. We love you. And you know what? You might be training some of us someday to work at your company.
Get the intern.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, boys and girls, I can't wait to see you back here at 11:30 for our next speaker. Bye.
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 Bye. Oh, there's Owen.
I know. I love seeing my friends.
Yep. 2 of the people that were here they were my friend. They were my classmates from kindergarten. Hey.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to stop my recording.